What's up, guys? We're just going to be heading out to our first job of the day. I believe it's a 2009 Jeep Compass. If I have the opportunity, I like to go ahead and check out, maybe look around Identifix. This thing's supposed to be a no crank, no start, no communication. So I'm just going to show you how Identifix works for me in this situation. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll just look up a 2009 Jeep Compass. And to be honest with you, I don't know what engine's in this thing. I think it's going to be a 2.4 VIN B, but you know, that could change everything, to be honest with you. So we have here the top fix and Identifix. I don't see what I'm looking for there. I'm just going to go to no communication first, because I know I'm almost positive everything goes through a totally integrated power module on this. Like the DLC goes directly to TIPM, and then after that it spreads out to the rest of the network. So no crank, no communication with the powertrain control module. Relay box wiring. Oh, that's right. These have that little relay box that's up front below the driver's side headlight. Those go bad often. That could be what we're up against here. So, yeah, I've seen that before too, but we're going to have to just poke around a little bit. Let me take a look at a wiring diagram just because I'm curious to see what we can come up with here. We're going to look for our information bus or data, computer data lines. There we go. All data in Mitchell's and Identifix. You know, sometimes label stuff a little bit differently. Not a big deal, but you can usually get it handled. So let's go ahead and bring this up. So here's our DLC in this picture. Right over here is our data link connector, and our DLC, you know, it's got its power, pin 16, 4 and 5 are our grounds, and then we have 14 and 6 go into our totally integrated power module, okay? So they say this is electronics. They aren't really telling us what's happening inside there. But you can see that this should be tied to all these other. This is the diagnostic CAN C, and then we got our CAN B bus and CAN C bus over here. So we don't know exactly what happens in that module, but the totally integrated power module kind of is the gateway. So we want to make sure that we do have our battery positive at all times here. One of the things I think I'll check is this fuse 33. I think they might have even said that in Identifix there, but let's check for fuse 33 to make sure we got battery positive at this fuse. If we don't have battery positive at this fuse, we got to be worrying about our hot at all times. So we'll go check it out. All right, guys, here we are with this compass. Right off the bat, when I turn the key on, we do get like a bulb check of some sort. We do have a check engine light, and the security light does go off, and we have a no crank, no start situation. I'm gonna hook up the scan tool in a second and figure out what's going on there. Checking fuse 33 that I said I was gonna check first. That fuse is good. I'll show you that right here. We got our meter. I'm gonna go ahead and probe this in here. On both sides of fuse 33, we are showing battery voltage. That's good. Now, I will tell you, this is that fuse block that's poorly done up here on these things. This thing always goes bad. I've had so many of these fuse blocks go bad, cause all kinds of problems. It wouldn't surprise me if we got an issue with the wiring or something here. I was actually gonna start wiggling this around as I have the key on, and if I start hearing clickety clack out of my throttle body and all this other stuff, I'll be like, that's we're on the right track there. So much to my surprise, I had to manually enter the VIN, and other modules are communicating, so this is good. I was told we didn't have any communication with everything on a vehicle, but as you see here, we do have communication with our TIPM, no communication with the PCM. So this gives us some diagnostic direction. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and pursue checking the powers and grounds to the PCM and also the data line. PCM's right here on this vehicle, so it's easy to get to. I'm gonna clip back in our TIPM as I had this up to try to, I was trying to get underneath there to make sure everything is plugged in because it's a little rough. And also as messing around with that, but we do have our battery maintainer on there, so now we get to pull these connectors off and see about our powers, grounds. Maybe I'll take a look and see if there's any connections in a wiring diagram, like any big connectors that we can access easily without jumping through a lot of hoops. Let's see here, because many times there might be a connector down here or somewhere else that the powertrain control module power runs through, or battery positive, or key on voltage, ignition voltage may run through. So that's my thought process there. All right, guys, so I'm taking a look at a basic diagram here. I'm looking at this battery positive. We gotta make sure we have this battery positive, fuse 33 is hot. We wanna make sure that goes over here to pin 16. And just so you know, looking at a connector diagram, this is our C1 of our ECM here, and you can see pin 16 is red and white, and as right over in here. So back probing this, you can see, yes sir, you got battery voltage there. So next up, because I'm right here, pin number 2 is ground, black and yellow, and pin number 4 is ground. So we're gonna make sure pins A2 and A4 are ground. And these are the black and yellow wires that are kind of right here, not this top row, but the next one down. So let me go ahead and turn my key on so the circuit's loaded. I did have the key off right now, and that was probably bad. Let me go back in here, back to that battery positive. Just get to show you guys that I mess up too there. We got our battery positive. Let's go ahead and turn the key on. Juice this thing up so it's trying to be a load. And I'm gonna get in here and back probe this ground. And what should we have on a ground, guys? We should have really low voltage. And that's low. Go to the next ground, which is this black and yellow right here. And I'm showing low voltage. And just so you know, if we put this down to the millivolt scale, you'll probably see maybe something that's on, can you see we got 0.002 volts, which is 2 millivolts. So that ground's reading okay. Now let's check the other powers. It looks like this ignition right here, this ignition switch out, run, start should be hot, I'm assuming, in run or start. And that comes from our totally integrated power module. So let's go ahead and make sure we got juice on this pin 15. And the good news is pin 15 is right next to pin 16. That's easy enough. So, and then we do have battery positive on that, so that's good. All right, guys, I hop back to Identifix to take a look at what's going on here, just to see if I can get any quick direction, because nothing wrong with that. We want to check for power on fuses 23, 26, and 32 and to tip them with a key on. So if there's no power on those fuses, check for the main relay located on the frame rail, which is down there. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so we did check the power to these fuses. There's no juice on these 26 and what was it, 26 and 23. Nothing there. The other one's over here, but if we don't have it here, I think we're not going to have it over there. So I'm going to go ahead and, like Identifix said, red and light blue wire, which I think I can see somebody's already paired right there. Imagine that. Guys, I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but when in doubt, sometimes you just gotta tug a little bit harder. Here it is right here in my hand. I don't think I'm getting good light there, but you can see there something is broken. All right, guys, just so you know, I tapped this in there. I'm clamped onto the end of the wire I stripped. I really can't tell if it comes out on camera, and I'm tapped into here. And then I plug this in, so we're just jumpering that, and I heard everything go clickety-click. So the big question is right now we're using our scan tool. If we go back to our YTech, you can see our PCM is online. So I bet you we got a crank start and run now. I'm gonna turn the key off, cycle it one time, because maybe the fuel pump may have not been cycling, I don't know. There we go. So that splice has went bad down there. There's actually a splice that jumpers a few things together. We gotta go ahead and get that fixed, and this will be good. Testing, 1, 2. Well, I've seen this fault many times before. It's very common, and I'm surprised I didn't get it right off the bat, but that's okay. Using different resources like Identifix and just poking around really gave me a quick way to get to the bottom of this problem.